Can you guess what the #1 reason is that people sabotage their own happiness, sabotage their dreams, sabotage their marriages, their careers, their own parenting, their lives? Believe it or not, it's something called your core story. And it's something that most people don't even take the time to consider. Your core story is the experience that you went through when you were probably 3 to 18 years old. How did you grow up? What were your parents like? Were they angry people? Were they blamers? Were they bad with money? What were the messages they gave you about love and affection and God? What were the messages they gave you about success or people who had money? Did somebody abandon you when you were growing up? Did someone hurt you? Did someone physically abuse you when you were growing up? Did you have a great life with perfect parents and a great childhood? All of this is part of who you are now, whether you're 20 or 55 or 75. And the interesting thing about your core story is that when you're an adult, you end up reacting and responding in life in reactive ways that aren't necessarily good for you, but they are automatic responses because of something that happened in your core story. In other words, if you're going through a difficult relationship and your father always turned to alcohol when he couldn't handle his relationship issues, you might run and want to grab a bottle of wine yourself or a bottle of beer. If you had a father or a mother who was irresponsible with money, you yourself might be irresponsible with money. If you grew up poor and always wondering where the money was coming from, as I did, you might grow up poor. You know, I remember when I went to New York to sell my last book, and I was talking about this whole idea of core story. And one of the publishers in the meeting just got all excited and a light bulb went off and he said, "Oh my gosh, you know," he said, "I lived in a little town and we used to have to go 15 minutes over this bridge to get to the grocery store." And he said, "And I came home from college and they'd put a new bridge in town and you could go over that little bridge and get to the store in 2 minutes. And when my mom and I got in the car to go to the store, she took the long way and took the bridge that took 15 minutes to go to the store." And I said, "Mom, why are you doing this? Why don't you take the new bridge?" She goes, "Oh, I don't like change. I prefer doing things the way I've always done them. And besides, that bridge might break. I don't know if that bridge is safe. I don't know how many people have gone over that bridge. I'm just going to go the way I've always gone." And he went, "Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of change. I'm so afraid to try new things. Could it be because of my mom?" And I said, "What do you think?" So it's really important for you to understand, whether you're 20 years old or 50 years old, that a lot of the decisions you're making in your life right now and a lot of the triggers that set you off and cause you to be reactive, whether you're reacting with anger or you're reacting with guilt or you're reacting with blame or you're making bad decisions or you're making fear-based decisions, so many of your decisions are based on your core story. What's your story? Have you ever taken the time to write it out? What I'd like you to do in a few minutes is go below and fill out the attached core story questionnaire and really think about it. And then after that, I'd like you to write your core story. Write 2 paragraphs, I bet it'll be 5 pages. And then I want you to sit back and contemplate why whatever you went through in your core story could be used to make you a better person. How you could turn the fact that you grew up with an alcoholic father into the fact that you're not going to be an alcoholic because you know how rotten it is. How you could turn the fact that you grew up an only child into some positive empowerment because growing up as an only child, you know how to be independent. How you could turn the fact that you grew up with a mother who died of cancer as someone who understands how important it is to be there for your children and to be a good mother. So whatever you've been through, and believe me, I've been through a lot of them, but I've turned my core story experiences into rings of a ladder that have helped me build the success in my life. And once you understand how important it is to write down your core story and take this core story questionnaire, you're going to understand why you react the way you do. And the key here is that I want to teach you how to go from being a reactive person based on things that happened to you in your past that you may not want to do anymore. You may not want to pass those traditions on to your children, into being a proactive person. And you make decisions based on things you want out of your life. that are proactive, that are going to have a positive end result in your life. And the only way you'll ever stop reacting is by understanding your core story. So take a moment, fill out the questionnaire, and then write your core story. Until then, go live your life.